Can I ask you a question right now? Can I ask you a real question? Not your neighbor, I'm talking to you. What kind of student are you right now in life? You're in charge of your promotion. If you do 5 million and want to get to 10, you're in charge. In order for you to rise up, you better take your game to the next level. Your mindset needs to go to the next level. Your information needs to go to the next level. Your relationships need to go to the next level. Take your money and get information and access, and you will get good habits and good rituals, and you will go to the next level. I'm going to become somebody different. What do I need to do? You need to have an honest self-assessment about what your weaknesses are. And that's how you get to the next level. Can I ask you a question? You're not where you want to be. How good is your movement? When did you stop moving? Or is your movement inconsistent? Is your movement lackadaisical? Is your movement just weak? If you want to be a shark, they are always hunting. They are always looking. They are always grinding. So question, my friend, you trying to get to that next level by running your mouth? No, you got to get to that next level through your movement. You got to get to that next level through your activity. You got to get to that next level by how you operate. Can I ask you a question? How strong is your movement? What time do you wake up in the morning? What time do you go to sleep? And how much time do you waste throughout the day? See, if you're wasting time, you got poor movement. If you're wasting time, you got weak movement. The only thing none of us can redeem is the time. You see, Bill Gates gets 24 hours a day. Any successful person you know, they get the same 24. And don't you ever forget that the rest of your life. Don't you ever stop moving. Don't you ever go backwards. To be a shark, it's about how you move, how you operate, how you navigate. See, as long as we connected, my friend, you can't stop, you can't quit. I ain't gonna let you. Not on my watch, baby. Get back in the game. It ain't over till you win. You might say, Walt, that's me, man. I quit. I got lazy. Man, I'm not moving. I'm laying in the bed, sad, lonely, depressed, angry because my girlfriend broke up with me, angry because my first business failed, angry because I didn't get into my dream school. Let me tell you, sir, it's a long race. It's a long race. Life is a marathon, baby. But if you stop running, you won't finish the cross line. If you stop running, you won't get to the finish line. So as long as you can hear the sound of my voice, don't you ever stop moving. Don't you ever go backwards. And sharks never retreat. Sharks never retreat. And they pivot when they need to pivot. Can I ask you a question? Do you need to pivot right now? Your business idea is not working. Pivot. Your marriage is not working. Change how you operate. Pivot. Success is all around you. Just pay attention. You know, anyone that knows me knows I love sharks. Sharks are powerful creatures. Sharks are majestic creatures that run the ocean. Don't you want to run things? Don't you want to run your company, run your business, run your neighborhood, run your industry? If you want to run things, we got to study sharks. How? Why? Sharks don't swim. They swim. What do I mean by that? They got better movement. They just move better than every other fish in the ocean. In fact, a shark is a fish. But why do we call them sharks? Sharks are at the top of the food chain because they know how to move. Sharks are at the top of the food chain because they operate differently than all the other fish. If you want to get to the top of your food chain, I just laid the framework that you gotta move different. You gotta operate different. You gotta attack different. You gotta think different. You gotta be different if you wanna be at the top of your food chain. Let's look at sports. I mean, doesn't LeBron just move a little different than every other athlete? Doesn't Tom Brady just move a little different than all the other quarterbacks? Go throughout the industry. Jay-Z, Beyonce, they just move a little different than everybody else. So if you want to be the top, if you want to get to the top, you got to move different. You got to move better. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. You might be in sales. If you want to be a sales shark, you got to move different. You might still be in school. You want to be a straight A student, you got to move and operate differently. You're a young, aspiring athlete in high school or college, trying to make it to the league, trying to make it to the top. You can. It's right in front of you. But you gotta move different. You gotta operate different. You gotta operate better in your social circuits. You gotta operate better in school, better in class, better in the sales meeting, better in front of the client. Why not? How do you move right now? I mean, let's be honest. How do you operate right now? And here's the truth. If you're operating the right way, you don't need to brag about yourself because others are gonna brag about you. Can I ask you a question? You got some wounds. You got some scars, but are you still willing to battle? Are you still willing to fight for success? Fight for being wealthy. Fight for getting out of debt. Fight for your marriage. Fight for your family. Fight for whatever you got to fight for. The thing I love about a shark, they never stop fighting. Don't let failure stop you. Don't you ever let rejection stop you. Don't you ever let people stop you. You stop moving forward because they said this and they said that. Let me tell you something about what he say and she say. Haters stopped you? Really? Let me teach you something very powerful. When you get successful, haters are a part of the landscape. If you don't have haters, your vision is too small. Sharks only look up. They can't look down. In fact, if a shark attacks you in the ocean, get beneath it. If a shark attacks you in the ocean, just get beneath the shark and your problems will go away because a shark can't look down. See, when you're looking at haters, you know what you're doing? You're looking down. When you get distracted by haters, you know what you're doing? You're keeping your eyes off the prize, baby. Haters are a part of the landscape, but haters are beneath you. And the real truth about haters, they wish they did it themselves. The real truth about haters, they don't have the courage to go for it themselves. Sharks only look up. They can't look down. Stay positive, my friend. If it didn't work this time, try again. Oh, it worked the second time, try it again. I don't care how many times that you need to try, no one can stop you but you. You gotta figure out what kind of shark you're gonna be. You gotta figure out what type of species of shark that you are really made up to be. The world is full of all types of sharks. A lemon shark functions and thrives in captivity. A lemon shark doesn't need a lot of space to be successful. Walmart in a little bitty small town in Arkansas. Don't look at me like that. You might be saying to yourself, well, Walter, I'll be successful, but I'm from a small town. I'm a small business owner. The only way small can hold you back is when you think small, when your vision is small. See, if you think big, it don't matter where you're from. If you think big, it don't matter how small your town is. Why? A lemon shark, baby. You got to blow up in the town you in. I don't care if it's 5,000 people. I don't care if it's 5 people. If you got vision, write it plain up on tablets so it can be seen by men, and that man is you. That woman is you. Maybe you're the lemon shark that God needs to blow up your small town. Maybe you're a bull shark. Bull sharks love murky water. They don't mind trouble. They love murky water. They don't mind darkness. They love murky water. They hunt better in the night. They hunt better when it's dark. A bull shark can function in both salt water and fresh water. Valuable. Are you that bull shark? Are you just like a bull shark that can function in a good economy or a bad economy? Are you the bull shark? It don't matter with you, wherever you put me. Are you the bull shark who can function in a big town or a small town with white people, black people, Hispanic people, Italian people, Russian people? I mean, a bull shark can function in salt water and fresh water. In other words, a bull shark is whatever you put me in, I'm gonna make it out on top. Wherever you drop me off, I'm gonna make it. Why? Because I'm a bull shark. And then you have the great whites. Oh, then you got the great white shark, baby. They go deep. They love hunting in the deep. They are always going for the throat, and they don't stop until they win. See, when you go to the swimming pool, most people stay in the shallow end, but not great whites, baby. Not great white sharks. They go into the deep end. They love going deep. For you to become a millionaire, you gotta go deep. Some of you guys gotta read more. Some of you guys gotta study more. Some of you gotta change your relationship. Why? Because your friends are shallow. Your family is shallow. And if you wanna be a great white, baby, you gotta get some new friends. You gotta get some new conversations. You gotta get some new material, new information, new access to new people that can take you to a place you've never been. All great white, baby, they go deep. It's time for you to go deep. The best part about a great white shark is that they understand they need teamwork. They understand they need teammates. You see, you gotta understand that when you become a great white shark, it's not just about you anymore. When you become a great white shark, it's about how many people can you take with you? How many people can you make successful? Some people live check to check. Some people live decade to decade. Where do you want to be 10 years from now? Who do you want to be 10 years from now? Some of you have not even scratched the surface of possibilities. Some of you guys have hit cruise control. Some of you guys have relaxed. And here's why. You think you're a baller shot caller because you're making some money. But you're doing 1 million, 1.5 million. And you think that you built some kind of empire. The truth is, you don't have an empire. You're just making money and you can take care of your family and your mom. And you call that an empire. I understand, if I want to be elite, I need to get around elite people. If I want to be a billionaire, I need to get around billionaires. My neighborhood has 6 billionaires and I get to have cocktails with them. We have 6 billionaires and I get to go to happy hour with them. Here's the truth. I'm not trying to live day to day anymore because I've been broke. I'm not trying to live check to check anymore because I have been busted. When I made up my mind to become more powerful, my whole world changed. And I began to live decade to decade. That likable people make a whole lot of money. Can I ask you a question? Are you likable? Let me prove it to you. Have you ever thought about how Oprah became a billionaire? Oprah got on TV as a journalist, but she got into the people business, and she convinced 30 million women she was their best friend. Oprah is a likability pimp. Oprah converted likability into billions of dollars. But you better take some notes. Because the worst thing you can do is relax. The worst thing you can do is take it easy, because empires, if you're not careful, will come to an end. Empires, if you're not careful, can crash and burn any moment. If you don't believe me, ask Kanye West. If you don't believe me, ask Kyrie Irving. I need you to lock in tonight. I need you to focus on my message today, because your empire should grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You almost got your money's worth already, because I want you to get out of the plumbing business, the painting business. I want you to get out the pool cleaning business, and I want you to get into the people business. Does that make sense? Because who are your customers, people? Who are these employees, people? Who's sitting next to you? A person. That's the most powerful coaching lesson I can give you right now. You gotta get into the people business. And if you're gonna be in the people business, you need to learn how to manage people. If you agree with me, say yes. If you need to get better at it, say yes. You can be wealthy if you get really good with people. If you agree with me one more time, just raise your hand and with some attitude at the top of your lungs, say yes. It is impossible to reach your potential without a coach. I mean, have you ever thought about sports? Every great player is connected to a great coach. I mean, think about that. We talk about Tom Brady, but we got to talk about Bill Belichick. I add value to you, and you add value to me. I add value to you, and you add value to me. Here's the problem that most of you have right now. You're trying to do it all on your own. Why? Because you're smart. Why? Because I want to show people how smart I am. Well, if you're that smart, you understand the power of coaching. I mean, didn't Michael Jordan have a coach? I mean, his name was Phil Jackson. Remember early in his career, they called him selfish, self-centered, and they called Michael Jordan a showboat, and a young coach named Phil Jackson simply said, give him to me. I add value to you, and you add value to me. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. You guys seen the video. He looked goofy at the combine. And Bill Belichick said, give him to me. I add value to you, and you will add value to me. The greatest golfer of all time was well on his way to becoming the greatest golfer of all time, but he had a problem. He violated the formula. His number one coach, and this was not his fault, was his father, and his father passed away. And then he fired his golf coach, Butch Harmon. And to this day, Tiger Woods has not gotten back on track. You're back where you started for one reason. You tried to do it on your own. You tried to do it by yourself. Some people brighten up a room when they enter. Some people brighten up a room when they leave. Raise your hand if you know any jerks. Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. Can I ask you a question? What benefit is it for you to be a freaking jerk? Oh, you need some coaching, you freaking jerk. You are hurting yourself, you freaking jerk. Let me prove this point even further. Have you ever wondered how Charles Buckley can say anything out of his mouth and get away with it? I heard him on national TV say Shaq ought to come over there and smack the black off you. And we laughed. He got away with it. Why? Because we like him. Man, I love Barkley. That's just Charles being Charles Barkley. Is in the people business. Before you go to bed, cut on your TV, any station, and before you fall asleep, you're gonna hear and see Shaquille O'Neal's face, and you're gonna hear his voice. Why? Because we don't like Shaq. We love him. Can I ask you a question? Are you likable? Rise up, baby. Rise up. Rise up. Oh yeah, it's time to rise up. You hear me talking to you? It's time for you to rise up. It's time for you to commit. I want you to hear my voice in your sleep. Rise up. It's time. You've been wasting too much time. You've been delaying too much time. You've been procrastinating for too long. Rise up. It's time for you to commit. You asking me, well, commit to what? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Commit to your dreams. Commit to your goals. I need you to rise up and commit to yourself. Commit to the process. I'm tired of you getting on Facebook and social media and Instagram and looking at everybody else. You sit there and you spy on everybody else's success. You sit there and look at their house, their cars. You sit there and look at their purses and their bag. And you look and say, man, I wish that was me. I wish that was me. Oh man, I wish that was me. People taking fancy trips, private planes. And you say to yourself, I wish that was me. It can be you, but you gotta rise up. You gotta commit to the process. You gotta get in the game. Stop being a spectator and start being a participant. Stop being a spectator and start being a participant. I need you to rise up right now. So I need you to rise up, and rising up ain't enough. I need you to make sure you understand the process, and the process means you gotta follow through. We gotta rise up, we gotta start, we gotta finish. We gotta rise up, we gotta start, we gotta finish. We gotta rise up right now, and we gotta start, and we gotta finish. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how talented you are, because Bruce Lee said it best. A warrior is an average person with laser-like focus. A warrior is an average person with laser-like focus. Don't even worry about your ability. Don't you worry about opportunity. I need you to be a warrior right now and let your work get your opportunity. Let your work get your praise. Let your work open up doors. Let your work get people paying attention. Let your work get the whole world to notice. You gotta work. Stop thinking, stop procrastinating, and you gotta work. I need you to rise up to fulfill your dreams. Rise up and attack your goals. There's no time to sleep, no time to nap, no time to waste. If you fall asleep, wake up and rise up again. You should work so hard that you collapse in the bed at night. Sometimes in the afternoon, you're so weary from grinding that your body just collapses. That's okay. Have sweet sleep, but when you wake up, grind again. Now is your time. Now is your season. Now is the moment to capture the vision. Let me tell you something. Here's what success is all about. You need these three things. Are you ready? You need skill set, mindset, and opportunity. Skill set, mindset, and opportunity. You need to rise up and understand what success is all about. Skill set, work on your skill. Mindset, work on your mentality, baby, and your opportunity will come. Trust me, when your opportunity comes, you better be ready. When your opportunity hits, you better respond, baby. And all the work you put in, all the grind you put in, when your opportunity shows up, you gonna be ready. Because hard work pays. Let me tell you something. Hard work will pay off. Your dreams are gonna get there. But I need you to start. I need you to follow through. And I need you to finish. Now we got to create the plan. What's your game plan? What's your game plan? Okay, I got you excited. I got you fired up. I got you motivated. But what's your game plan? Step one, you need to know what you're going for. That's step one. You got to know what you're going for. You got to be clear and decisive and have clarity for what you want. Because if you don't have clarity of what you want, you're going to get distracted. If you don't have clarity for what you want, you're going to fall for the okie doke. You don't want to fall for the okie doke. No, baby. If you want red heels and high heels and red bottoms, don't you quit until you get high heels, red bottoms. Don't you quit until you get exactly what you want. I'm thinking about the CEO of Walmart right now. The CEO of Walmart right now, Doug McMillon. You guys know he started unloading trucks at the distribution center in the summer. Didn't even have a full-time job. He started at Walmart part-time. He finished school, became an assistant manager and a buyer, and now he's a CEO. Hello, he rose up one day. He got started. He stayed committed. And he finished. Well, you might say, well, Walter, it might not work for me. I'm not a CEO. Yes, you are. You're a CEO. Yes, you are. Guess what? I want you to hear me clearly. You are the CEO of you. You are the CEO of you. Don't you ever think that you're not a CEO. Because you're the CEO of you. I need you to think like a shark. Because a shark never stops moving or it dies. I need you to become the CEO of you. And the only way you can do it is you got to rise up. You got to stay committed. I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be ups. I know it's going to be downs. But let me tell you something. You're going to get there, baby. I know you got a great new idea. Congrats. You found an incredible new opportunity. Opportunity you needed. I got it. And I know you're going to make it happen. I know you're going to change the world, but you got to have your mindset. You got to have your skill set, and you got to wait for your opportunity. And when your opportunity comes, you got to go forward. You might think to yourself, Walter, man, I've been touched about what's going on in the world, and I want to change and make this world a better place. And how can I help others? Here's how you're going to help others. Rise up. I mean, Nelson Mandela was no different than you. An average man with a laser-like focus. Martin Luther King was no different than you. An average man with a laser-like focus. Oprah, you put in your favorite person. Bill Gates, come on. Whoever you really look up to. I want you to understand that they were an average person, just like you. They had an idea. They started. They followed through. And then they finished. So can I ask you a question? Now what you gonna do? What are you actually going to do? Are you gonna say, man, I love all these audios, man, I love all these videos, you get me pumped up, and you gonna do nothing? You just gonna sit there and do nothing? I need you to be that average man. I need you to be that average woman, but I need you to understand that you gotta have rise up in you, and you gotta have laser-like focus. There's greatness in you. If you rise up, there's so many people counting on you. If you rise up, you've heard this a million times, that the cemetery is full of potential. And that's true. Because that person didn't do what they needed to do through the dash. We all are born and we all gonna die. And I'm gonna ask you a question, what are you gonna do with your dash? Stop searching Facebook and being a spectator on all social media. I came here to motivate you to rise up and make sure that you take advantage of your dash. As long as there's breath in your body, I need you to take advantage of your opportunity when it shows up. Before I promise you one thing, it's gonna be challenged, and you're gonna be asking yourself, before I promise this, can I really do it? Yeah, you can. How do I know? Because you made in the image of God, that's why. I will bless you as far as your eyes can see. He told you that. I will bless you as far as your eyes can see. He promised you that. He says, I will bless you as far as your eyes can see. Can I ask you a question? How far can your eyes see? Some people's eyes see welfare. Some people's eyes see WIC and food stamps. But some people's eyes see 100,000. Some people's eyes see 1 million. Some people's eyes see 1 billion. Can I ask you a question? What do your eyes see? What is your vision? I need you to commit to it. Whatever just went through your mind right now, I need it to be big, and I need you to commit. I need you to be big thinking. I need you to commit. I need you to make a plan, and I need you to follow through. That's all success requires. That's all success requires. That is all success requires. It's for you to rise up, follow through, and finish. And what you're going to follow through is no different than a ball player. It's the plan. And let me give you a little secret in basketball. A shooter got perfect form. I need you to have perfect form for your success to happen. I promise you one thing. If you hold yourself accountable, you'll get there. If you hold yourself accountable, it's going to happen. The worst thing you can do is just wait for other people to hold you accountable, wait for other people to motivate you, wait for other people to inspire you. How about motivating yourself? How about inspiring yourself? Have you ever thought about motivating somebody else? Have you ever thought about inspiring somebody else? Have you ever thought about lifting somebody else? We need you to be a light in the midst of darkness. This world has gone crazy. This world needs you to rise up. This world needs your dream. This world needs you to achieve everything you got on the inside of you. This world needs you to be you, but in order for you to be you, we got to have you to rise up. Every morning when I wake, I see that sun rise up, and I want you to be just like the sun. Every morning, I want you to rise up, follow through, and finish. For some of you, it's really for all of you. But the ones in this room that are smart enough, hungry enough, determined enough, with the right mindset and the right mentality will see this opportunity and you will grab it. Is everybody with me? Successful people are flexible. Successful people can pivot. When something's not working, pivot. That's what successful people do. They pivot, they change, they're flexible. If something's not working, they don't keep doing the same old because it's not working. Does that make sense? And grown men and grown women think a certain way, operate a certain way, and have a certain mindset and mentality. I want you to understand you are a part of a legacy. You've heard about your mom's story, you heard about your dad's story. Now it's time for you to build your story. You're saying to yourself, you know what, I got a GED, nobody wants me. I used to be an alcoholic, nobody wants me. My own father used to tell me I was no good. Nobody wants me. I'll just work this little dead-end job and we'll figure out what's next because I don't have anywhere to go. Some of you guys can relate to what I'm saying. Somehow, some way, you've disqualified yourself. I work with so many people and I can relate to it. Nobody can beat you but you. Nobody can stop you but you. But the worst thing you can do was disqualify yourself. Don't ever confuse your potential with who you are at the time. Many of you guys, your mom made sacrifices for you. Your dad made sacrifices for you. Now it's time for you to grab the bull by the horns and impact your legacy. Is everybody with me? Your mom and dad have this story. Your grandfather, your grandmother has his and her story. Now you are building your story. It can happen to you. It can happen for you. But you got to write these goals down, plain up on tablets, so they can be seen by men. And that man and that woman is you. Some of you guys have an opportunity to be special. Some of you guys have an opportunity one day maybe to have your own store. Oh, don't look at me like that. Maybe you can have your own store. You're a manager right now. Maybe one day you could be a franchisee. I dreamt about the NBA and it happened. I wanted to be a Hall of Fame motivational speaker. And it happened. But I wrote my visions plain up on tablets. And every day that I looked at them, I was focused. Believe more, want more. Just be flexible, believe more, do more, want more. You're more excited about Facebook and Instagram and power. Oh, I can't miss power. Oh, empire, I can't miss empire. But some of you guys, it's golf. You know, I go to work, but man, I can't wait to hit that golf course. My father taught me something very valuable. But you know what? You will dwell in what you dwell on. You will dwell in what you dwell on. If you dwell on marijuana, you will dwell in marijuana. And you will get the weed smoker's reward. I thought about it the other day. I'm from Chicago. I've never been to a thug retirement party. Have you? I've never been to a thug retirement party. I guess I have. They're called funerals. What you dwell in, you dwell on. So can I give you a little bit of advice? Make sure your value system is good. Make sure your value system makes sense. Some of you guys may be taking college courses. If you're in school, raise your hand. Can I ask you guys a question? Everybody in this room is pretty much legally grown. Am I right or wrong? Is there any excuse for an adult not to get A's? Is there? I mean, I was silly in middle school, were you? I was immature in high school, were you? I was an alcoholic in college, maybe you were too. I was at every party with my red Solo cup. But now I'm 50 years old. I got a wife. I got kids. I got mortgages. I got bills. School is over. That's all about the real deal right now. You guys with me? Is there any excuse for an adult not to get an A out of life? So when you go to work, is there any excuse for you not to be an A manager? Is there any excuse for your store not to be an A store? Is there any excuse for you to go home and not be an A husband? Is there any excuse for you not to be an A wife or a mom or a dad? Is there any excuse? Because we're not in middle school anymore. We're not in high school anymore. See, I like what I've learned. To be successful, we have to pivot. To be successful, we need to be flexible. The only way someone can reach their potential is through training and development. The New England Patriots are a training and development organization masquerading as a football team. You guys know they had 2 players on their team that didn't even play college football? One played lacrosse and the other played rugby. But Bill Belichick said it's simple. I got 2 core values. Love playing football and do your job. Love playing football, do your job. Love playing football and do your job. And you can play for me. I don't care about your background. I don't care where you came from. You can play for me as long as you love playing football and as long as you do your job, I'll do the rest because we are a training and development organization masquerading as Jersey Mike Subs. In fact, we're so good, we can take a 6th-round pick named Tom Brady. and turn him into the greatest quarterback of all time. Don't forget he was a 6th round pick. Well, they got lucky. Really? You ever notice what happened when Tom Brady gets hurt? That backup quarterback looks good too. So Tom Brady gets healthy real quick. They had a guy named Matt Castle. Tom Brady tore his ACL. Matt Castle comes in and goes 11-3. That's a training and development organization masquerading as a college NFL football team. Nick Saban put in a backup quarterback in the second half of a national championship. Who does that? This kid has not played all year. And in the second half of the national championship was his first action all year, and Tua led them to a championship. Did Nick Saban trust Tua, or did he trust his training and development? I had a goal of playing in the NBA, and I got there. You guys know I had a goal of doubling my NBA income, and I got there. If you set a goal, and you make the intention that you're gonna get there, do you know that you writing it down and looking at it every single day, you're 7 times more likely to achieve that goal? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on a mission to make sure that everybody in this world knows that that next level is waiting for you. You can become that person you wanted to be when you were 10 or 11 and 12. You don't have to let your reality take over and all of a sudden you live this normal life. You don't want to have a normal life. Why have a job and just be normal? Why have a company and just be average? I'm telling you, you should be on a mission to get to that next level. Ladies and gentlemen, you got the job, but that's not enough. Don't relax. Don't settle. You gotta get bigger, stronger, and faster. You gotta get better. You gotta make sure that your work ethic, getting that job is just the beginning. That's not the end. You wanna live your dreams. You wanna have your goals. You wanna get to that next level, ladies and gentlemen. You wanna take trips. You wanna have a nice house. You wanna have a nice car. You wanna know powerful people so your kids can have access and their lives can be easier than yours. You are beginning a legacy, and your job is not just take your career to the next level. Your job is to take your family to the next level so your kids are better positioned than you were. So when I go and speak, I'm all about the next level. When I coach executives, I'm all about the next level. You have to master fundamentals. You have to have a good vision. You have to make sure your mindset is right. You have to make sure you understand how to operate in a team. But most importantly, you have to be accountable. We live in a world where people lack accountability. That's why my best-selling book, All But Stink, is so popular. It's how to live your best life and eliminate excuses. Because until any of us own our situation, until we become accountable, we are all crippled by our own excuses that we believe are real. A lot of people get to certain levels based on talent alone, but your next level is not about talent. Your next level is about getting there on purpose. It requires work ethic. Your next level requires you to get the right mindset. Your next level requires you to get connected to the right people. We can all get to the next level, but first we gotta get them out of our own way. I had excuses, and the excuses are crippling. And most people don't even realize that they are operating in excuses, which means you're operating in a state less than. Why be a C student for the rest of your life when we all can be A students? But it requires certain fundamentals that we must master. The biggest mistake any of us make is getting comfortable. The worst thing you want to do is get comfortable in a place you don't want to be. You might be making $80,000, but are you comfortable? And you know you should be making $150. You might make $150 and you're comfortable, you should be making $350. You got a little small company, a little small town, but you are comfortable when you really should be a regional player. You really should be operating on a global landscape. The biggest mistake that we can make lately is getting comfortable in a place you don't want to be. What people don't really understand why I'm so passionate about helping people get to their next level until they hear my story. I was a high school star. I just thought I was born to do great things. I was a typical kid. We all stood up in front of class in the 3rd grade and 4th grade and said what we were going to be when we grew up. I was no different than any other student. Everybody in the world did that, right? It was like an exercise we all did. So my message was, I'm going to play pro sports. And when I'm done playing pro sports, I'm going to make more money in business than I did in sports. And everything was going on fine until when I got to college, I found myself sitting on the bench. a high school stud basically becoming a scrub sitting on the bench. And I'll never forget, all of a sudden I recalibrated my dreams and goals. And my father called me on the phone. This was a turning point. He asked me a question that really changed my life. He said, son, you don't play. Why not? But I gave him what I thought was my truth. I gave him what I thought was my reality, only to find out now it was an excuse. I said, Dad, politics. Dad, it's political. My father said, what? He said, son, if you can help that coach win, you can play. Go back and do what you said you're going to do. And all of a sudden, I got reconnected to that little kid on the inside of me that had dreams and goals and getting to that next level. I went to my coach and I said, Coach, what do I need to do to play in the NBA? See, in many cases, sometimes we get stuck, we get stagnant, and we lose that fire and that passion because we forgot our vision, we forgot our goals, we forgot our dreams, and all of a sudden reality takes over. All of a sudden circumstances take over. Ladies and gentlemen, I had to up my game. I had to start working harder, right? I stole the key from a manager and I would go into the arena at midnight and work on my game, work on my left hand, work on my right hand. I got fundamentally sound. All of a sudden, I began to realize that I gotta get better. I'm not just good enough. And I began to confuse my potential with who I was at the time. That might be the biggest mistake that people make around the world. They confuse their potential with who I was at the time. People get hired based on their potential, but your work ethic is what's going to make you a vice president. Your work ethic is going to make sure that you become a CEO. Being fundamentally sound in marketing and selling and customer service, I became fundamentally sound and I made it to the NBA. And before I knew it, I got cut because I realized that all I wanted to do was to get there. I had no vision to be an impact player. All of a sudden, when my career ended, I had no money coming in. And I was starting over from scratch. But there was a difference. I knew what it took to be the best in the world. I sat down with the speaker, who was a Hall of Fame speaker, and I said, what do I need to do to become a Hall of Fame speaker like you? And at this breakfast, I did not have enough money to pay for it. And he told me what I needed to do to get to the next level. And I did it. So here I am. It's the Hall of Fame induction. And another speaker came up to me and said, you know what? I heard you're excited. You're getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I looked in her eye and I said, you know what, Miss, I am very excited. But this time, I expected to be here. This time, I knew exactly what it took to get to that next level. All I want people to know is that they can get 10% better every single year. If we get 10% better every single year, in 5 years, we won't notice you. In 5 years, you won't notice your own bank account. You won't notice your own career. You will get bigger, stronger, and faster. You will get more effective. You will get promoted. You'll drive more revenue. But ladies and gentlemen, next level is about purpose. Next level is about understanding what it takes to get there. I want a mission. Because if I can get to that next level in 2 different industries, I know that I got a message for the whole world. And I have the information that I can teach to make sure that anyone can have that dream come true that they had in their 3rd grade class, that they had in their 4th grade class. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't quit. Don't take reality. I'm telling you, that dream that you had way back then can become true. And it can become your reality. Can I ask you a question? What did you learn this year? What will you never do again? What will you do more of? What do you need to start, my friend? What do you need to stop? I'm asking you. I'm talking to you. This ain't for your best friend. This ain't for your brother. This ain't for your sister. I'm talking to you. What do you need to do for you to get better? How are you getting better? Getting better. How are you getting better? Getting is an action word. So I'm going to ask you one more time. How are you getting better? In other words, what action are you working on? I mean, how much get do you have? If getting is an action word, we got to up the get. If life is a journey, who you are right now is just a point of reference. You must be in constant development. Who you are right now is not the final version of you. Every year you must get better. See, your mentality might be average is okay, but okay ain't gonna get you promoted. Okay ain't gonna get you to the next level. Maybe you need to work on your work ethic. I mean, you gotta have a strategy to get better. How are you getting better? Just like fine wine, your value should always increase over time. But it don't happen naturally. You gotta be intentional about getting better. You got to understand your strengths. You gotta understand your weaknesses. Fine wine gets smoother over time. And the value is constantly increasing. If your value's not increasing, if people ain't trying to give you more money, something wrong, bro. Something wrong, sis. If people ain't trying to get you more money, we gotta work on better you. What does $1 million person do that you refuse to do? That you won't do? Here's what I'm trying to tell you. You are in charge. You are in control. And we gotta begin with you getting better. If you want more, it's gotta be clear to you right now that you need to get better. You always talking about somebody else. I'm coming to you, my friend. I'm talking to you. It's just me and you. You need to get better. Stop talking about everybody else and what they need to do. What do you need to do? Every year, you must improve. You must improve. Why? Because your life will always be a reflection of you. Who you are will ultimately yield you a result. So the question is, if you don't like the result, you got to go back to you. If you want a different result, you need to improve you. So if you want to make more money, you must become somebody different. So for example, if you're a $30,000 person, it's okay. But you need to figure out how do you need to get better so you can become a $60,000 person. In other words, what does a $60,000 person do that I don't do right now? Insert your name. What is a $60,000 person doing that I don't do? What are they willing to do that I don't? You can become that $60,000 person, but you gotta change how you think. You gotta change how you operate. You need to change how you impact your environment. You need to change how you respond. If you ever want to get to 6 figures, you gotta ask yourself the question, what does a $100,000 person do that I don't do? If you're gonna get paid, if you're gonna be a real boss, if you're gonna get to the real money, you gotta be courageous and ask yourself the question, what do I need to do to be a millionaire? How does a millionaire think? How does a millionaire respond? And what is my gap? What do I need to do to become a millionaire? There's money out here. There's even billionaires out here. What are they doing that you're not willing to do? What are you working on right now? I'm not talking about next week. I'm not talking about next month. I'm not even talking about next year. Right now, what do you need to be working on? What is your strategy to get better? If you don't have a strategy, you're going to stay the same. My friend, what is your strategy to get better? What's that one thing? If you improve that one thing, it could benefit you tremendously. This one thing is a game changer. Is it your attitude? Really? Is it just your attitude, your outlook, your disposition, a smile on your face, being approachable? I mean, it's really hard for negative people to be positioned right. I'm gonna be real with you. It's gonna be really hard for a person with a bad attitude to get into position, to get to that next level. You might be saying to me, Walter, that ain't true. I know people who got a bad attitude. Hear what I'm telling you. A few slide through the crack, but for the most part, they know somebody. For the most part, they got something else working on their behalf. If you don't have an incredible network, if you don't have a whole lot of people backing you up, let me tell you something. It's going to be really hard for a person with a bad attitude to get into position to get to that next level. Is it your attitude? Don't let that hold you back. You're in the people business. Every industry is in the people business. Well, Walter, I work in the engineering industry. You're in the people business. Well, Walter, I do insurance. You're in the people business. Well, Walter, I'm in restaurants. Oh, you're really in the people business. Here's the truth. Here's a secret weapon. Everyone is in the people business. Is that one way you can get better? Getting better with people? Here's the truth. Why would you want enemies? What is the benefit of an enemy? I know people are crazy. I know people do messed up stuff. People piss me off all the time, but I ain't gonna have no enemies. Here's what I do. I reposition you. I see how you roll. I see how you move. And all I do, I ain't gonna fall out with you. I'm gonna reposition you though, because I see how you move. Avoid enemies if you can, my friend. Because successful people know a lot of people. Successful people know a lot of people, and you gotta protect your reputation. An enemy is out to destroy your reputation, and they will lie on you if they have to, because you want everybody speaking well of you. People say, man, I don't want your name in my mouth. I want my name in your mouth. But I want to be your friend. So when my name is in your mouth, you're going to give me praises. You're going to be supportive. You're going to speak positively. So my friend, you got to work that benefit in your favor. Successful people know a lot of people. You don't have time for enemies. Protect your reputation. Let's get better, my friend. How can you get better? Education? I mean, getting smarter never hurt anybody. I've never seen a person get hurt by being smarter. How many books have you read? Maybe it's another certification. Maybe it's getting certified in the first place. You can't lose getting smarter. You can't lose with wisdom. How wise are you? We gotta get better, my friend. What is your strategy? Maybe it's your tone. It's not what you say. Maybe it's how you say it. 75% of communication is not what you say, it's how you say it. Do we need to get better with your tone? Don't turn people away from you. Draw them to you. Don't repel people. Attract.